This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So in the last class, we were talking about how to pass an object to a method. Now, for example, you have used your credit card or a debit card whenever you go for a shopping, right? So what will happen? There will be a swiping machine. There will be a swiping machine. You will take your card and you're going to swipe it. You're going to swipe it. As soon as you swipe, what will happen? It will ask to enter the PIN. You will enter. Once you enter the PIN, the amount will be deducted from your account automatically. So now tell me what you guys did actually. You went, took your card, swiped it, and entered your PIN. Automatically, the amount got deducted. So now let us see what happened in the backend. When you swiped your card, the machine the machine connected to the bank server and it asked, is it a valid card? Then the bank server said, yes, it is the valid card. Then the machine asked you to enter the PIN. Again, machine sends a request to the bank server telling that for this card, is this the valid PIN? The bank will tell, yes, this is the valid PIN. Okay, so now the machine will tell, then please deduct 20,000. Okay, so $20,000 from this account. So bank automatically deducts that much and it will tell whether the transaction was successful or failure, whether that amount of balance is present or is this card valid for to swipe for that much amount of money. Okay, all this information is sent from the bank. So whatever the bank sends, the machine will take that response and it will print the receipt or it will produce the error message telling that, hey, this card is invalid to swipe this much amount, or it might tell some other insufficient balance. Okay, if everything is success, then it will tell, hey, everything is success. See, guys, what happened? We just swiped the card. We just swiped the card. As soon as we swipe the card, lot of operation is happening at the bank side. Lot of operations are happening at the bank side. Clear? So now all the operations are happening at the bank side. Do you think did bank ever said you that, hey, wait, please, I'm performing some operation like I'm executing some query, or did it said I'm validating your pen? Okay, so this is the language I've used to develop this logic or this code. No, right? So whatever the operations are happening at the bank is completely hidden for us. Is completely hidden from us. Yes or no? It's completely hidden. It is not at all exposed. So we call this as abstraction. Call this as what? Abstraction. Hiding the business logic and allowing the users to access the functionality is called as what? Abstraction. Hiding the business logic and allowing the users to access the functionality is called as abstraction. Only business logic will be hidden, but users will be able to access the functionality. See, we guys are able to access the functionality like swiping the card and all. But do we know what is the programming language used by the bank server to develop the application? Do we know what is the algorithm they are used for encryption and decryption? No, those are the business logic. They don't expose it to the users. Why? Because users need not to know about it. Users need to achieve only functionality, not the business logic. So what they do, they generally hide the business logic and allow the users to access the functionality. So this is called as abstraction. Similarly, I'll take one more. Okay. So let us take this is your car gear. So now what you will do? You have a knob. You will just change the gear. Okay, as soon as you change the gear, some information goes to the gearbox. According to that, the engine starts responding to us. Engine starts responding to us. Clear? So how does the gearbox is working? How does the engine is working is completely hidden from us. We know only one thing, how to change the gear and how to move the car. What is happening inside the gearbox, what is happening inside the engine is completely hidden from the user, is completely hidden from the user because it is the business logic. It is the business logic. They don't expose it to the users. For the users, they will expose the functionality. They will tell, hey, this is how you need to change the gear. Okay. What happens inside the gearbox that you need not to know about it because that is the business logic. Here, hiding the business logic and allowing the users to access the functionality is called as abstraction. Is called as what? Abstraction. Clear? Everyone, what is meant by abstraction? Hiding the business logic and allowing the users to access the functionality is called as abstraction. Abstraction can be achieved using abstract class and interface. Now tell me, as a developer, do we need to achieve abstraction or we should not achieve abstraction? Yes, we should achieve abstraction because we have a lot of business logic, okay, which we should not expose it to the users. So users should be able to achieve the functionality, but they should be not knowing how exactly the business logic is written. That is not required for them. Okay. Now, you all wanted to use a Gmail. So what you guys did, you guys registered to Gmail. When you registered, the information went to a Google server. Okay, all the information of yours is stored into a Google DB. Then you open the Gmail account, you enter the email ID and password. So the request went to the server. Server validated whether the email ID and password is present in the database or not. Database responded with the result. If it is present, it will send the result. If it is not present, it won't send the result. Now server will process that result. Okay. If the email ID and password is valid, it will produce you the home page, or else it will produce you the error message. You registered, so now you are able to open the Gmail. Yes or no? Similarly, Google Drive. Google Drive. So what you did, you entered the email ID, okay, and password, and you press to login. Request went to the Google server. Google server sent that information to Google database. If email ID and password is present, it will respond back. Okay, so then we are going to the home page. If email ID and password are valid, else it sends us the error message. Now tell me, how many times did we register to Google? Only once. Okay, Gmail, Google Drive, Google Photos, any of the application can be opened using the same email ID and password. Yes or no? Same email ID and password. There is no different email ID and password for everything, right? For all Google accounts, we have only one email ID and password. So now, guys, we all know how to open a Gmail, how to open a Google Drive, but we don't know how they are validating our email ID and password. We don't know what is the database they are using. We don't know how the message is sent from the Gmail to my friend, how the photos are shared from the Google Drive to my friend. But we all know how to do it. We don't know how it has been developed. How it has been developed. Okay. So how it has been developed is a abstraction for us. Is a abstraction for us. We don't know what is the business logic written to it, but we all know how to achieve it. We all know how to use it. Clear? Now, let us see this. Now, I'll take one class. login. Okay, I wrote one abstract method, that is task. Okay, so we have a Gmail class, Google Drive, since Google. Okay, what is the job of Google Drive? It is used to share or store the large size documents. Google task. That's our main method. Now what I will do, create the object of browser. Okay, so to call the open method, I need to pass a Google type object. So let me create the object of Gmail. Okay, to the browser, I'm passing what? Google Drive object now. Okay, so from the browser, we are going to log in and the task is going to be performed. Let us see it now. Okay, use email ID and password to log in. Google Drive task is to share large size documents. So now what I will do, I will use what? Okay, Gmail. Gmail is to send the email and chat with the friends. So now you might be thinking, what is the use of abstract class? See, abstract class is used when we have some abstract property and some common property which need to be shared among our child classes. See, login is the functionality which is common for Gmail and Google Drive. So we wrote it inside the abstract class as a concrete method because it's a common property. Okay, then task. We didn't give a body to a task method. Why? Because Gmail task is completely different than the Google Drive task. Okay, Gmail task is completely different than the Google Drive task. So what we did, we made it abstract so that whoever extends the Google, they can use the login functionality. What task has to be performed with respect to their application, they are going to override it. They are going to what? Override their task. Okay, hey, this application has to perform this task. Okay, that functionality they will give. Clear? So from the browser, what we do a login and we perform the task. We don't know what is the logic written inside the login method. We don't know what is the logic written inside the task method. But we know to achieve the functionality. We are going to achieve the functionality. So this is the business logic. Okay, it is not only SOPs, there will be lot of lines written inside it. But here I'm just writing the SOP. This is the business logic, how to validate whether the email ID and password is right or wrong. Okay, so to perform this, there is a business logic written. Okay, there is a business logic written. That business logic is called as abstraction, hiding the business logic and allowing the users to access the functionality is called as what? Abstraction. Clear? Do you have any doubt on this? This concept we had already seen, guys, how to pass a object to a method. Clear? In the last class, we have understood that only. So today what we are understanding, why exactly we use the abstract class. When we have some concrete property and the abstract property need to be shared among the child classes, we use abstract class. And what is meant by an abstraction? Hiding the business logic and allowing the users to access the functionality is called as abstraction. Clear? Any doubt on this, guys? Okay. Now, let us take a ATM. Okay. We have a ATM machine. We have a US bank. We have an India bank. We have one US bank. So we have a ATM machine which has been developed by, let us take some Bosch. Okay. So now what you do is you have a US ATM card, US ATM card, and you will go and swipe into that ATM machine, enter the PIN, and you will get the amount. Now tell me, where does your US ATM card information is saved? It is saved in your respective bank DB. In your respective bank DB. So you will enter the information, it is validated, and you will get the response. Similarly, if you swipe a India ATM card or India Bank ATM card, so what will happen? It will validate your card with respect to India Bank database and it will respond. When you use UK Bank ATM card, your information is validated through UK Bank DB and you are going to get the response. So now, if you develop the ATM machine and if you ask US Bank, can you please allow me to access your database? Do you think will the bank allow you? No, they don't. You have developed an ATM machine. You go and ask India Bank, hey, I want to use your database. Will they allow you? No. UK Bank? Yes. No. None of you people will allow you to access the database. But they will ask you, what is your need? You will tell, see, some person will come and swipe the card. I will give you the card information. So you tell me whether that card is valid or not. Then I will send you the PIN. You tell me whether the PIN is valid for that card or not. Then I will send you how much amount the user is asking. You tell me whether that amount can be given to a person. If you tell me yes, I will give that amount to a person. By that time, you update the balance of that user. Okay. Now what will happen? They will write one business logic. What this business logic will do? That business logic will talk to their service or the server. See, US Bank will not share their business logic with India Bank, or India Bank will not share their business logic with US Bank. Similarly, UK Bank will not share a business logic to any one of them. So, ATM machine will talk to this business logic and get the response. ATM machine will talk to this business logic and get the response. ATM machine will talk to this business logic, will get the response. Based on the ATM card we are using, okay, that respective business logic is going to be called by my ATM machine. If you swipe US ATM card, it will go and connect it to the US Bank business logic. If you swipe India Bank ATM card, it goes and connects to a India Bank business logic. Similarly, if you use UK ATM card, it will go and hit the business logic of UK Bank. See, this is completely a developer responsibility of writing a business logic, developing the ATM machine and all. As a user, he will just swipe his card, enter the PIN, and he will get the amount. Okay, get the amount. Now, let me take one interface card void validate void Okay. So now we have two methods. One is validate, one is information. Class elements card information. So what are we doing? We up overrided the methods. Now let me take India Bank, UK Bank. Validating the card from US Bank database. Validating the card from India Bank database. Validating the card from UK Bank database. Get the account information from US Bank. So, right, so when the card is swiped, we need information if the card is valid. ATM machine, slot, so now we have a ATM machine. In the ATM machine, we have one slot method. To this slot, we can insert a card. So parent type reference variable it is. Okay, ATM machine we have. Then we'll call a slot method and we shall pass the US. Okay, US bank card we are passing now. So now what happened? Validating the card from US bank database and getting the information from US bank. To the same ATM machine, now I will pass UK bank object. So now validating the card from UK bank, getting the card from UK bank. So similarly, you're validating the card from India bank database, validating getting the information from India bank. See what is the logic written to validate and get the information about the card is completely a business logic. It is hidden by the developers. They don't expose the business logic. Okay, so but they will allow you to access the functionality. So if you are a developer of an ATM machine, like a Bosch, you are able to achieve the functionality, you are able to validate the card, you are able to get the information of the card. But you don't know what is the code written to validate the card and get the information of the card. This part is called as abstraction, hiding the business logic and allowing the user to access the functionality. Allowing the user to access the functionality is called as abstraction. So here we are using interface. Why? Because there is nothing common which can be shared among the banks. No bank will share any of their information with the other bank directly. There is nothing common. Okay, because your internet banking user ID and password of bank A is completely different than the user ID and password of bank B. Yes or no? It is completely different. There is nothing common. Right? Your account balance in bank A is completely different than the account balance of bank B. Your account number of bank A is completely different than account number of bank B. Yes or no? There is nothing common is shared among the banks. So that is the reason here we took interfaces. In the previous example, we took abstract class because there was something common. Whenever you are achieving an abstraction, you can use abstract class and interfaces. If there is anything common that need to be shared, you can use abstract class. If there is nothing common that can be shared, then you can use interfaces. Understood now when to use the interface and when to use the abstract classes in the industry. Clear, guys? Any doubt on this? Understood what is a abstraction and what is the use of abstract classes and interfaces. Clear, everyone? Okay. So now let us take class animal void eat. Okay, on paper, instead of using extents on paper, only on papers, we can use this symbol. Okay, that is nothing but extents only. Now, what I do, okay, so now will it compile eat method? Is there a eat method present in the parent class? Yes, it compiles. So it goes and call this respective eat. So now I am going to override it. If I override, what will happen? This method will go and call this respective overridden method. So what happened, guys, here? See, the code was getting compiled even without overriding. File code is getting compiled even after overriding. But which method has to be called? is decided at the runtime. While running, it will see whether I should call the overridden method or whether I should call the parent class method. If there is no overridden method, it will call the parent class method. If there is a overridden method, it will call the child class overridden method. So now in Java, we have a concept called as polymorphism. We have a concept called as polymorphism. We have two types of polymorphism. One is runtime polymorphism. One more is compile time polymorphism. We have runtime polymorphism and compile time polymorphism. Okay, runtime polymorphism is nothing but method overriding. Runtime polymorphism means what? Method overriding. Okay, compile time polymorphism means method overloading. Runtime polymorphism means method overriding. Compile time polymorphism means method overloading. Okay, so runtime polymorphism is also called as late binding, or it is also called as dynamic binding. Okay, similarly compile time polymorphism is called as early binding, or it is also called as runtime polymorphism means method overriding. Compile time polymorphism means method overloading. Runtime polymorphism is called as what? Late binding. Compile time polymorphism is called as what? Early binding. Okay, let us see what is that. Now I will create the object of demo. Now I will tell d dot add of 5. See, will the code compile? Yes, it compiles. At the compile time itself, it is decided it has to call this method. Now I will tell d dot add 2.4. Will this method compile? No, this will not at all compile. It tells there is no method which is ready to receive double as a value. Okay. Now d dot add 10,6. Will this compile? Yes. So there is a method which receives two int values as an argument and set compiles. By this, what we understand here is, guys, in method overloading, the binding happens in the beginning. Means at the compile time itself, the binding is going to happen. Means it will decide, hey, you have to call this respective method only. But in overriding, it depends. At the runtime, it will decide whether I should go ahead and call the parent class method or the child class method. If the method is overridden, it will call the child class method. If the method is not overridden, it will call the parent class method. In method overriding, the call to the method is decided at runtime. Hence, we call it as runtime polymorphism. In method overloading, the call to the method is decided at compile time. Hence, we call it as compile time polymorphism. Okay. If first it compiles, then the program is going to run. First, what will happen? Compilation. So then what will happen? Running. So compilation is first or running is first? Compilation is first. So we call it as early binding. Running is later. So we call it as late binding. Okay. Understood everyone? Clear? Polymorphism, abstraction, and inheritance. These are the OOPS concepts. Similarly, we have encapsulation as well that we will be understanding later. Clear? So overriding and overloading we are already understood. So today I just gave you what exactly they are called as. So overriding and overloading are nothing but polymorphism. One is runtime polymorphism and another one is compile time polymorphism. Clear guys? Do you have any question on this?
What did you say for the OOPS method?
OOPS
I
concepts.
yeah. So what are the
Inheritance,
inheritance,
polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. So these are the four OOPS concepts.
inheritance, abstraction? What was the last one?
Polymorphism, encapsulation.
Thank you.
Yeah. Clear everyone guys? Okay. So today we didn't understood anything new. We understood the terms used for the concepts in the industry, and we also understood when to use interfaces and when to use abstract classes. Okay, till now we were just understanding okay abstract class interface, but today we understood in industry where they implement interfaces and where they implement abstract classes. Okay, then. Now that day we understood one keyword, that is final. Final keyword can be used to declare what? Variable, method, and class. If you declare any variable as final, it is what? Constant. If you declare any method as final, then we can't override. If you declare any class as final, then we can't inherit. Okay. So similarly, today we shall discuss about one more keyword called as static. One more keyword called as what? Static. animal dot cost. Clear? And cow dot cost. And so any variable declared as static, can we inherit it? Yes. See, if you see your cow dot cost, is there a cost variable inside a cow? No, it is getting inherited. Can be inherited. A local variable can never be declared as static. Okay, this we have already understood, but still. When we understood the variables in the beginning, right, we understood that global variable, local variable. In global variable, we have two types, instance and static. Static variables, local, or local variables can never be declared as static. Now, now what are we doing? Okay, remove static modifier. So by this, what we can understand, we can never override the static methods. We can never override what? Static methods. We cannot override static methods. Interviewer will ask, can we inherit the static method? Can we inherit the static method? That we shall see now. Okay. Yes. We can inherit. Okay. Static methods can be inherited, but static methods cannot be overridden. We cannot override the static methods. That is highly impossible, guys. You can never override. Okay. We can re-declare the static methods. So now we are big confusion. What is meant by redeclaring? Okay, redeclaring means whatever the static method is there, you can write the same static method again. Okay, I am a redeclared eat method. When you call cow.eat, it will call this respective method. When you call animal.eat, it will call this respective method. Clear? So there is no overriding happening here. This is redeclaration. If it was overriding means the implementation should have been same. Clear? Here the things are not getting overridden. Okay, static methods cannot be overridden, but static methods can be redeclared. Okay. Do you have any confusion, guys, here? This is redeclaration. We are rewriting the method. This is not overriding. Clear? Okay. As Apple, declare it as static. So is it compiling? A class can never be declared as static. We cannot declare a class as static. Okay, I will have a note point, guys. We can declare inner class as static. Okay, I'll tell you what is meant by inner class. Apple is a class. Inside Apple, I will write one more class. Class Apple seed. This inner class I can declare as static. Okay, but outer class can never be declared as static. Okay, no one will ask you about the inner classes, but if you see something, some class is declared as static, you should not get panic. Obviously, it will be inner class. Okay, what is meant by an inner class is a question. Any class written inside a class is called as inner class. Okay, any class written inside another class. Inner class. Okay, so this is the use of static keyword. Clear? Do you have any questions or any doubt, guys?
Sir, can you repeat this concept again, this program?
Okay. See, there is a static keyword. So someone will ask, can I declare the class as static? You straightly tell, no, we can't declare the class as static. Okay, it is not allowed. Static modifier is not allowed to declare the class. Okay. Can we declare the inner class as static? You can tell, yes, inner class can be declared as static. What is the inner class? Any class written inside another class is called as inner class. Here, apple seed is a inner class of apple class. Apple is a outer class. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Anyways, you need not to worry about inner class concept. We don't use inner classes nowadays. Okay. But I just wanted to make you to understand that keyword.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Clear, everyone? Any doubt or any questions do you have? Okay, guys, then. So let's catch up tomorrow. So please practice these examples. Just go through these examples, create your own examples in the similar way. Okay, fine. So
I have one question.
yeah,
Did we have class on Saturday?
sorry.
Did we have class on Saturday?
No.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah,
No, thank you.
yeah. Okay. Thank you all. See you tomorrow.